Good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. So today I'll be taking you through a small journey on how we can master Amazon's selling partner API's Feeds API to enhance Amazon's business. Before jumping right into the topic, let me introduce myself. I'm Akash Nayak, and I have been working as a senior customer success consultant at APPSeCONNECT for the last 3.5 years. My goal is to understand customers' business, provide important insights, and help them grow, as well as find opportunities so that they can benefit more from APPSeCONNECT. Apart from work, I am a keen geek, a tech geek, you can see. I love staying up to date to the latest technologies in the market. I love playing cricket and traveling and reading books as well in my leisure time. Okay, coming to today's topic, what we have ahead is Amazon's SP API. So Amazon introduced the Selling Partner API back in 2022, where they migrated from their existing MWS API. Their goal was to have a more centralized API structure where more data was available at a faster and a better service than what was provided by Amazon earlier. Today, we'll be focusing just on the feeds aspect, which covers the shipment and the inventories and product data. I'll be focusing mainly on explaining on how the Feeds API has progressed through this last 2 years and how APPSeCONNECT has identified a loophole or a limitation in the existing structure. And we have come up with a creative and magical solution to aid different businesses involved with Amazon. Today's agenda will be covering the problem statement, what the solution APPSeCONNECT has to provide, and I'll be ending the webinar with a quick demo and also attend to any questions that any of you guys might have. Okay, coming first to the Selling Partner API. Selling Partner API covers a whole platter of APIs, which ranges from product listing to orders to shipments to inventories, pricings, and many other sorts. It also has a new approach where we have a better way of accessing the customer data as respect to the MWS. And obviously, with the architecture being an updated one, there's more efficient, more automated processes that helps customer attain their business in a much more creative and a less time consuming. What we have prepared, or our product engineering team has prepared, is a custom, ready to go, easy to use Amazon Seller Central and SAP based package, which has around 10 to 15 process flows covering orders, shipments, inventories, and other processes, which is ready to use. There's no time invested in the onboarding process. And with the use of Selling Partner API, we can consider this as a future-proof solution because this is something which is going to stay for a long time. Okay. Coming to the challenges that we faced initially is when Selling Partner API was released, whenever a shipment had to be posted on Amazon, we used to use a one-by-one methodology where one data had to be sent from SAP to Amazon. And this entire process took around 10 to 15 minutes with the initial Amazon solution that we had. These raised some large questions, which are explained here, but not limited to these ones only. The first and foremost was organizations who are associated or selling on Amazon have a huge risk of getting delisted if they do not, or if they're not able to fulfill their orders within the allotted time. Due to one-by-one data processing system, same-day deliveries were almost impossible. Since several API calls had to be made to handle one data at a time, it also led to a evergreen issue that Amazon has, is of Amazon throttling, which hampered businesses, halted their entire integration, and led to depletion in sales. And if I think of it as an all-over solution, the entire process was too time-consuming for any sustainable business to opt for. So taking these challenges into consideration, we and our product team brainstormed on what could be done. And we came up with a solution of something that we call as bulk feed API. So what is bulk feed API is essentially, instead of sharing multiple single data one by one, we share multiple data that can be in ranges of 100 to thousands based on how large or based on the scale of the organization. And using this, we were able to increase the time or reduce the time required from 15 minutes for a data initially to around 10 minutes for 200 to 500 amount of data. So there was a drastic reduction of time consumption, which were able to answer all the challenges or solve all the challenges that we were initially facing. Just to point out the advantages that AppPSeConnect was able to achieve through this solution is obviously first and foremost scalability. So we were able to scale up the solution from our end, thus contributing to the organization having a good promise state, which is a big thing from Amazon, with the same day delivery being considered. The response time was way quicker. This also acted as an optimization to the existing logic, which helped us to better attend to customer needs. It increased our reliability. And from a customer perspective, they were much more eager and they found it a much more helpful solution as compared to the initial solution that we had to offer. Last thing that we were also able to achieve through this solution is a better form of security, because since we were sending multiple data at once, we were able to better maintain the data integrity on our overall scale. Enough of the theoretical part. So let's go for a quick demo where I'll be demonstrating how this actually works in AppPSeConnect. So coming to the process flows, this is the initial structure that was prepared from us, where we have a two-part process where the shipments from SAP are processed on Amazon one by one, and a feed ID, a unique feed ID is generated per data. Then there's a delay of 5 minutes. This delay is allowed or needed for Amazon to process the feed. This is the standard time it takes. It can take a maximum of up to 8 hours, but 5 is the minimum amount of time that Amazon needs to process the feed. And once it processes, it either returns a success or an error message with the error details. So once the feed is reached or received by Amazon, there's a delay of 5 minutes. So let's say it takes 3 minutes for the feeds to be processed. There's a delay of 5 minutes, and it takes around another 2 to 3 minutes for the feed to be validated to get the report, which totals down to around 10 to 12 minutes per data. So we chalked out the entire process and we revamped it, and we built a new one where we have something which looks like this. So this is the new methodology which we have used, where you do not see any two-part process. There's a single flow between SAP and Amazon, where we can fetch data ranging from up to 1 to up to thousands of data. And currently we split them into batches of 100, because 100 is a number which we have found as a sweet spot where data is flowing most efficiently and there is no Amazon throttling and everything looks good. So we split data into batches of 100. Then they're sent over to Amazon and processed, and we get a singular feed ID for this data, which is then later validated through a separate process. So the feed is uploaded to Amazon, the shipment is done. There's no need to wait for an amount of minutes to validate it, and the business can just operate. So let's say they create a shipment on SAP, and within the next half an hour through APPSeConnect, they have it on Amazon, and there it's all shipped and the customer receives the confirmation. So there's literally zero delay when they're using APPSeConnect using the bulk feed API operation. So I have a bunch of data at my disposal to show how this process actually works. So let's go ahead and execute our current process. And within a blink of an eye, as you can see, the process is complete. So I'll just go ahead and open up these orders. Okay, so this is one of the orders which was at my disposal, and you can see it's supposed to be shipped today, 26th, which is the earliest shipping date. So the customers prefer to ship it as early as possible to maintain their Amazon promise date compliances, and it says shipped here. So this is the main confirmation that the order has been shipped on Amazon. And if I go to this particular order, it's just a delivery. You will see I have a feed ID. So this is the feed ID that we received from Amazon that suggests that yes, the shipment has been successfully uploaded to Amazon. This is another one which got posted right now. So I'll refresh this delivery document as well. And we have the same feed ID against this as well. So just by following this quick process, we can very clearly understand the large scale solution that we have been able to attain. I'll keep it short and quick. That's all from my end. If any one of you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Okay, I have a question which is a little offbeat, but I'll answer it anyways. So the question suggests that what advantages do we have with SP API when migrating from MWS? There are loads of solutions or improvements, but I'll just list out a few that comes on the top of my head. The first is since Selling Partner API has been implemented with a better authorization technique. So earlier, the Amazon had to share a fixed auth token, like a hard-coded auth token, which the selling partner had to provide to the integration provider or the developer in order for the integration to work. So that had very little data integrity and data security. With Selling Partner API, there's no such sharing of auth tokens. We need to generate token on a timely basis, which ensures that the security and the client ID, client secret, everything is within the organization and it's not shared outside. Second most important feature that I personally feel is great is the scope of constricting or restricting amount of data that is exposed at the API level. So let's say we have an order, but we have personal information that is available in Amazon, like the shipping details, the pricing, and the taxes, which the selling partner is not keen or interested to share with everyone. They can restrict how much the API data is exposed, and they can only allow certain part of their order data to be available for the integration. So these are the two advantages that I think clearly stand out when we talk about Selling Partner APIs. Let's see if we have any other question. Okay, there's one. Okay, yeah, okay. So the question suggests that what's the maximum amount of data that can be transmitted through feeds? So feed covers anything ranging from shipments to product data. The Amazon prescribed limit is 10 MB of file size. So if the feed packet is within 10 MB of size, does not matter what you're transmitting, Amazon is more than happy to accept it without any issues. If you have any file size which exceeds 10 MB, what we suggest is breaking down into smaller packets and then sending them separately, or else it can cause crashing of the entire system. I'll take just one last question. Okay, can I process both product listing and product pricing feed at the same time? Yes, product listing and product pricing can be done at the same time, But what we recommend to anyone who is using the Amazon SP API is to not include the pricing, inventory, and images, because Amazon does not currently support using pricing, inventory, and the product listing and the product data at the same time. They do not support parallel execution. They will execute it one after the another. So what we recommend is, if you're using products or post products for the for the feed API, post the product first and then use the update process later on to update the price, inventory, and other product data. Okay, I do not see any further questions. So thank you all for attending the session. It was great. I hope I was able to impart some new knowledge to all of you guys on how this can be used. And in case this triggered any new interest for any of you guys and you would like to opt for a new Amazon Seller Central and SAP integration, feel free to reach out at sales@appseconnect.com for any further queries.